Welcome to Solo Parent Strength, Navigating with Resilience, the podcast that celebrates the incredible strength and resilience of single parents. Your host is Nanciekem, and she's honored to join you on this journey of empowerment. In each episode, we'll dive into uplifting stories, offer practical advice, and connect you with valuable resources to support you in your solo parenting journey. Together, we'll rewrite the narrative of solo parenting and forge a community built on strength and empowerment. Let's dive in.
Hey y'all, good evening, good morning, depending on where you're listening from. Welcome to Single Parents Revival Podcast. Is your host Nanciekem, and today I'm going to be talking about a very I'll say a very deep conversation. And the topic of today's discussion is early parenthood and the challenges of choosing the wrong partner. I'm going to be sharing stories about myself. I'm going to be very vulnerable today, and I'm going to also share about other people that have shared their stories with me. So stay tuned and welcome on board. Today's topic is very deep. And the reason why I say it's deep, it's because it explores a topic that many of us have found ourselves in, and it's been a very challenging yet very transformative episode of our life. Having children at a very young age in life, often with partners who might not have been the right choices for us, but because we were young and stupid or young and in love and things happened and we made a human being, the journey of going through parenthood without all the equipment necessary, while filled with love for your child but yet ridiculed, no finances, hard time. There are so many unique challenges that face young parenthood, and today we are going to dig deep into the complexities, share stories, and discover ways to navigate through this often bump road. I'll call it a bumpy road. Having children at a young age or in a relationship that later proves to be an incompatible relationship can bring about a range of emotions and situations. Dealing with personal growth while raising a child, you're a child raising a child, managing co-parenting, or sometimes you don't even have a co-parent, you're by yourself. Your parents have probably denied you and kicked you out, or maybe they let you stay, but you going through that stress of being a pregnant young adult or a pregnant teen mom. Can be a very tough place to be, and especially with the parents we were raised with. I am over 30, so most of our parents were like really strict. Let's unpack the experiences and find ways to grow and thrive, and also offer advice to young women, young adults who are coming up, and share with them the consequences of having extramarital relationships, which God, of course, doesn't like, but we did them anyway. It can cause you so much pain. so much pain, and that pain will last you a very long time. It doesn't end just because you just had a baby. The reality of early parenthood, well, becoming a parent at a young age has so many impacts on personal development, because you don't give yourself time to grow, you don't give yourself time to enjoy yourself as a young person. You're gonna maybe lose out on your career trajectories. You're gonna lose out on social relationships because you're no longer being able to go out there with friends and chill out with friends, because you gotta go home and take care of your responsibility as a parent. Often, being a young parent, you're faced with a lot of judgment from, of course, the society, and lack of support system most of the time, because you're looked at like a failure. And then making your parents go through that as well can be really hard for you and your parents as well. So, going to a story about my life. I had a child when I was 21 years old, and I felt like 21 years old was still very young, because I was still, not able to comprehend a lot of things, and I wasn't financially stable at all, to even be able to make another human being who actually depends on me fully. And when I got pregnant at 21 years old, I zoomed out. I lost it. I didn't imagine that that can happen to me. Of course, I was active. That's how you get pregnant, right? But for some reason, at that age, you don't really think that something like that can happen to you, and you indulge into these things. And of course, my mother told me several times, "Hey, be careful, be careful." But we never listen at that age. You're so in love, and all you know how to do is run away and go with your boyfriend, go chill out, and blah blah blah, right? So when I got pregnant, the first thing that happened is, of course, the man rejected. He said, "Oh, I don't think we should keep it. I don't want to be a father right now. I'm still very young. I'm going to college." And all blah blah blah. You know how men are, especially when they're young as well. They really don't know if they want to be with you in the first place, and on top of that, they don't want a responsibility, and then of course they don't want a child at that age neither. So um as a young woman deciding to keep a pregnancy at a young age, um, it's not the easiest thing to do, because of course you're gonna have to go through a lot of hate, a lot of fighting, families fighting, your mom is cussing you out, everybody is disregarding you. I remember one of my youngest sister told me, "Oh, look at you, you're gonna have a train of children now that you've started having kids at a young age." It was depressing having to deal with being a pregnant mother at a young age, and you don't have an income. Decided to go live in with my boyfriend, who did not have an occupation, who didn't have money. And it was rough because he depended on his father to take care of us. And sometimes it was really, really hard on him. And I really understood that. But I didn't want to stay with my mom. She had already told me not to get pregnant. So life really took a different road, a bumpy road. All your hopes of going to college, your hopes of being somebody, just they just died right there. And the man disrespected me. There are days that you wake up and you wish you just disappear. You just you just pray that the earth opens up and you just sink in, and just, you know, it swallows you up. There are days when you wake up and whatever it is that you desire to eat, you cannot even afford. There are days when you can't even walk side by side with your man because he doesn't want to look like he is the father of the child that you're carrying, and both of you are young. Um, went through rejection, went through psychological, mental, and emotional abuse, being cast out, being looked at like you're a nobody, all that, all that, and even more, and even worse. Crying every single day. I can only imagine, because we are being told a child listens to everything that goes on in outside when they are still in the stomach. I can only imagine what my son was listening to. I sympathize with him now, knowing what I had to put him through. And when you with your first pregnancy, it's always like really bad, really rough. You throw up, you don't eat, you don't take care of yourself so well. I didn't take prenatals. I didn't take no vitamins. I didn't go to the clinics all the time like I was supposed to. Life was really tough. And I really quickly realized the mistake I had made. Not having the child, but being in a situation where I had to get pregnant with the wrong person. I quickly realized it. And I told myself, I'm never going to have another child again. That's what I told myself when I decided to keep the first one. And I was like, I'm never going to have a child again. But I guess I'm not God. I am not God. I don't make those decisions. But having that child changed my whole view of life, to be very honest with you. When I decided to keep the child and had the child, eventually, after all the tortures and psychological and emotional abuse, I decided to go through with the pregnancy and I had the child. Life was different. I decided to get into hustle mode quick because I realized that it's me and this boy. I don't have any support system whatsoever. It took me back there. Like this podcast took me right back in that moment for a split second there. Moving to our career trajectories. For many young parents, early parenthood means rethinking your education or your career path. For me, it was the same thing. I've always wanted to be a pharmacist. Now, the pregnancy did not take me away from my pharmacy. My mom could not afford to pay for my pharmacy school. So, yeah, that happened. But this did not change my career path, but it only gave me more burden than what I was dealing with already. But I had to maneuver, I had to figure things out. And I decided to do things that I couldn't have done if I didn't have a child. It could really sometimes being pregnant at a young age could involve delaying and modifying your pursuit in life. Like you will face a lot of challenges. Advancing in your life can take a little longer than other people. There's a lot. It's like you just got a little accident, if I can call it, and you're in a race and you got an accident and you have to fix your leg and you have to fix your bicycle or you have to fix your tire before you get back on the race. So the people that you are racing with, of course, they will still be racing if they didn't have to get into an accident or a puncture or something like that. So that's the same way I'll consider early pregnancy or early parenthood. Another crucial aspect is social relationships. Young parents often find their social dynamics shifting dramatically. You had friends that you used to mingle with that didn't have kids, that you guys used to hang out with, go places with, experience life stages. But now, the moment you become pregnant, all that is gone out the door. They might feel out of place. Your peers experience a different life stage. They probably don't want to be seen around you. Their parents don't want you to be around them. And the stereotype behind just a young mother, it's just super super stressful. So you tend to isolate yourself and be very very stressed. You are not understanding why all this is happening, but it's happening and you have to deal with it by force. It's a mental shock. I cannot even explain it to you to understand if you have never walked that shoe. But someone who has walked that shoe, you can hear my voice. You can hear what I'm saying right now. And you can really relate to what I'm talking about. You are either going through friend issues or family issue or community issue. Your relatives don't like you no more. You have to figure out a way to navigate through that. You have to figure out a way to navigate through your own parents and your own siblings. I'm grateful that I only had a hard time from one of my siblings, not all of them, but just one of my siblings was really, really aggressive towards me. But the rest of them all were really nice, and I didn't experience any hard time from my siblings except from one of them. Of course, the parent will also give you some side eye and whatever, and sometimes they don't really care about your needs because it's not their problem at that point. They want to make you feel it. But of course, since you're wrong in that regard, then you're going to have to suffer those consequences. So, early parenthood, to be very honest with you, can be very tough. And if you're out there, young adult, a young girl, if you can avoid being a young parent, please do it at all costs. It's not the easiest path if your mental capability is not equal to the task, if that's the best way I can put it. If you're someone who can give up quickly, if you're someone who can get into depression, if you're someone who can get into anxiety quickly, if you're someone little things or big things stress you to a point where you lose it, don't put yourself in this situation, because this situation is rough. I'll advise you to take it easy on it, because I'm telling you this from experience. I'm not just telling you this because it's a story. I'm telling you this because I have been through it. I have seen a lot of people have been through it. Some of them their lives have been even worse and rough than mine. When you have to deal with your parents, deal with your boyfriend, deal with society, deal with the pregnancy itself, the child is fighting you from inside. You don't have peace from any side of the world. It's not the easiest place to be. If you can avoid being pregnant at a very young age, please do. And if you can hear my voice, you can hear that I am trying my level best not to cry, because sometimes when I go over that situation, and just sink into that moment, I have so many lessons out of it. And if I will advise somebody's child today, whether you're a girl, whether you're a boy, if you can abstain, kindly abstain. And if you have to have what you want to have, there are so many ways you can avoid a pregnancy when you're not ready. This is a whole child you're bringing into this world, a whole human being you're bringing into this world. You're not just bringing a toy, you're bringing a whole different human being who will need your attention, who will need your love, who will need your care. And don't forget, you don't even have the capability or the capacity to do that. And today, I want to apologize to my son for the pressure that I gave you when you were in my stomach. If you ever get to listen to this, I want to apologize, truly apologize for the pain, for the turmoil, for the emotional, psychological pressure that I caused you. And even when you were born, I was not even able to do a lot for you. I am sorry for bringing you to this world when I wasn't ready. I'm sorry to my mother to putting you through what I had to put you through. As a mother trying your best to take care of us with no any other help, as a single mother, you watching your own child become you right in front of your eyes, that can be very painful because you already know how it feels to be a single mother. I apologize and I am sorry from the depth of my heart. To the father of my son, I am sorry. Maybe I should have known better. To my family that I had to put through some situations, I am sorry. If you guys ever have a chance to listen to this, just know that as much as you guys think that I don't feel the pressure and the pain I caused you, I know I did. And I want to apologize again. But giving birth at that young age, it gave me the push that I really needed as a human being. That push that I got at that particular moment, the moment I saw my child, I knew it's game on. And I'm grateful that I got the game on push at a very young age. Because I don't know where I could have been today if I could have continued living the life that I was living. So it's an apology. It's kind of sweet and sour type of feeling in this situation. Some people don't get that wake-up call, but I got that wake-up call. That wake-up call that I got when I had my son and the drive that I had, it was irresistible. And I'm telling you, even for today, I do believe entirely that my son has something to do with me being in the US. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have it so deeply sunk in my heart that God had to prepare something, because the drive that I came out with after that birth of that child, it was crazy, mad crazy. I was doing things I couldn't believe I can do. But God made it possible for me to do it, and He had to make a way for me to even do it bigger and better. And that's why we are here today. That's why I'm speaking on this podcast here today. Sometimes the pain we go through in this life is not only meant for us. Sometimes it's for somebody else. So you can survive it and give the story to somebody else to save somebody else who cannot be able to go through that pain and still stand. And today I'm a testimony that situation can happen, but you can turn things around and God can have another book written down for you that is fresh, and you can do it all over again and do it even bigger and better, because that's a God that we trust. That's the God that we serve. He knows how to change bad situations and make them good for a better good. He knows who you are, He knows your intentions, He knows your aspirations, and He knows how to change everything and make it all good even when you make mistakes. Yes, we have made mistakes. Yes, we have lived it. But God knows your heart, and He will clean it up for you and give you a clean slate to work on. Don't give up if you're a teen mom. Don't give up if you're pregnant right now. Do not give up, because God is a God of so many chances, and He's going to give you multiple chances to do things over again. You made a decision that you made with the mind, with the head that you had then, but you can always go back and clean up and do it better. As I wrap up today's topic, and this is part 1, remember that early parenthood comes with its set of challenges, and it also brings unique joys and experiences. It's all about finding the support you need, and most importantly, recognizing that despite the challenges, despite the difficulties, many young parents successfully navigate this journey with resilience and love. I'll see you shortly with part 2. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Solo Parenting Strength. Remember, you are never alone in this journey. If today's episode resonated with you, please consider sharing it with other single parents who might find solace in our supportive community. Remember to subscribe, rate, and leave a review on your preferred podcast platform. Your feedback enables us to reach more single parents who may need this beacon of strength. Until next time, always remember, the strength you seek resides within you. Take care and keep thriving. Solo Parent Strength, Navigating with Resilience is produced by Single Parents Revival. For additional resources and community support, visit our website at www.singleparentsrevival.com. We're grateful to have you as part of our empowering community. Thank you for being here.